How's it going, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a good 4th of July. I am tying up some flies before the 4th of July festivities. Finishing up flies for my little giveaway I'm having. And while I'm doing that, I figured I'd do a video on my little red-headed killer Kebari that I tie. It's a really, really simple fly. But like everything in Tenkara, that usually translates to being super effective. I've caught most of my fish on this fly, and it's really simple. Tie it on a Firehole again, like most of the stuff that I do. 633, size 14. We're going to be using red thread for this one. And I'm going to take this one all the way to the back of the shank. Right about there. All right. Now we're going to go back up the shank and tie in to a nice little red head. We'll just keep building it up until we get the shape we want. See, it's starting to get that nice oval head shape. And that looks good. So then we'll stop the thread just behind where we made that head. And I'm going to be using that Whitting Brahma Hen, that brown speckled, like that. Feather here. All right. And like always, I like to pinch up here. Take all that fluffy stuff off the feather. So it should look like this. And then I like to pinch the top. Kind of separate it like that. Just like that. Like that. Now, some people like tying it in like this, tip first. I actually like tying it in on the end like that. There's probably some guys on here that would yell at me for doing that, but you know what? It works out. And I've been doing it for a long time. So we'll tie that in. Back up just a bit. All right. Got our hackle pliers. I like to bring all those hackle fibers forward. I find it makes it easier during the wraps than getting hackle fibers flying all over the place. All right. Yeah, it keeps them nice and forward. One more. That looks good. tie that in. All right, now I like to pull all those hackle fibers forward. I'm just going to do a couple wraps up the shank towards the hackle to really kind of push those fibers forward, just like that. All right. Now next we'll be using, I can find the package. We're using this color, Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. It's the Moorit-Shaela. It's a really nice color. As you can see, it's got kind of a, it's got a lot of brown in it and black and gray, which is really unique when it gets wet. So we're going to tie that in right behind the hackle. Doesn't have to be fancy, just get it on there. And I tie all the way to the end of the shank when it starts to curve down. And then I'm going to do a couple wraps behind it to lock it in place so it doesn't slide down the shank. I'm going to make my way back up to right behind the hackle right there. Cut off that little piece of excess. All right. Get that out of the way. And we'll start our wraps. I love working with the yarn because it's kind of like dubbing easy mode. Yarn always looks nice and buggy. It stays together. You don't have to worry about dubbing coming undone. Not to say that it will work well in every situation, but for this it works just fine. It gives it a nice buggy look underwater, and all those little flyaway fibers give this little halo effect underwater. Alright, so we're going to lock that in. About 4 should be good. Now we're just going to build up a nice little red tag right at the collar, right behind the hackle. Just like that. And that is it. Now we're gonna whip finish it. I like to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Did that one a little fast. There we go. We're just going to throw some head cement on it. I'm using the Loon water-based. Nice little bead on top. Nice little bead on the bottom. And that's it. Super simple, super effective. Red-headed killer Kebari. Thanks guys, have a safe 4th.